what is up, everybody? Welcome back or welcome to Bitch Bet Podcast. I'm your host, April. I hope everybody was having a good month. I was actually ahead of schedule for once. I had this episode recorded a couple weeks ago, had it all planned out, was really excited about the topic that I had picked, got some details out, and then in the middle of my recording session, I lost the umph of the episode. When you have you're really passionate about something and you stand on a soapbox and you just talk about it. I had my soapbox and then I lost it during that recording session. So ended up scrapping the idea, and now here we are, day before it's due, recording it again. So procrastination at its finest. But I really honestly should start getting better at that because I don't stress very easily. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast at all, but I don't stress. I just don't. But it's things like this that cause me to stress out. So maybe I should limit my stress intakes like that. But also because I don't stress out about anything else, seems like it balances me out. Who knows? One day I'll get better. One day, just not today. So kind of the topic of this episode is going to be about the universe. I know, big, broad, crazy topic, but it's just been kind of on my mind throughout the month, basically, and certain things have happened throughout the month that just made me think about the universe and how it works and where I fit in and how I can kind of make it work for me. If that makes any sense? For example, earlier, a couple weeks ago, I had done some volunteering at my job. And the volunteering was going to be doing some yard work for a foundation that works with us because they house sick children. So they can't use chemicals to kill all the weeds. They have to be pulled by hand. So we come over and help them out. I don't do any physical activity ever. I don't exercise. I don't do manual labor. I don't do anything super strenuous. The most my body is active is when I just function throughout the day to do my job, and that's about it. So I knew going into this volunteering session that I was going to be sore the next day because it was going to be way more body movement than I'm used to. So I was fine with that. I was expecting it. So the next day, my whole upper body is sore, and I just want to go home and soak in a bath and just kind of relax all my muscles. And it was going to work out because my husband was going to go to the gym that day with his best friend. So I was like, cool, he'll go to the gym. I'll have the apartment to myself. I could just relax, take on some tunes, and have a good time. It's not ended up happening. One of my dogs, my lovely dogs, decided that he needed to go to the bathroom in my bathroom, and ruined both of my bath mats that were in the bathroom. So, yeah. I was not very thrilled, not very excited, because I'm a bath mat person. Yes, I can shower with and put a towel down and step out onto the towel, but I just like bath mats. So, yeah, I could have washed it, but then it wasn't sunny at the time. We were still very overcast, so I wasn't going to have the sun to dry out the mats. Then they were going to smell all moldy, and I just didn't want to deal with it. And I was going to end up having to buy new ones anyway. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just throw it all away, buy new ones, whatever. I didn't want to buy bath mats that day, but apparently that was just in the cards. I needed to go to the store already because my husband needed a couple things from the grocery store. So I already knew I was going to have to run that errand before I can soak in my tub, but I figured that one was going to be super quick considering the store that I was going to go to is down the street. Whereas me having to go to Target is the next town over. So I was just frustrated. I was hungry. I was frustrated. I was irritated. I was sore. I just wanted to relax, and it was going to have to be postponed. So I was grumpy, set out for my errands for after work. Well, I went to the grocery store, and I had right as I walked in, I had glanced to my right, and I saw a big saltwater taffy display. And I love saltwater taffy. They're literally my favorite candy. I have a sweet tooth in and of itself, but if I were to pick my favorite candy, it's saltwater taffy. Specifically, the Neapolitan saltwater taffy. I fucking love that candy. I will devour a whole bag. So of course I went over, scoped it out, saw my favorites, grabbed like a big handful, and was out about my way. Got what my husband needed and what I needed, and went on to the next store. So I was happy about that. Kind of made my day a little bit better. And then when I went to Target, I grabbed the bath mats. And then after I got them, which they were the exact same bath mats that I had just thrown away, because I'm very much, if it's not broken, don't fix it type of person. So the bath mats were working. I liked that quality. I liked that color. I just needed one that was a little bit bigger. So got those two. And then instead of just like going to pay and then going back home, I was like, well, let me peruse, as one does at Target. And I was like, well, maybe there's like something else that I've been wanting or I've been looking for, and that will make like this trip even better. And there was. I have been searching for black jeans for a couple months now. I wear dude jeans. I think I've talked about this when I was with my cousin on our episode of the podcast. I wear dude jeans because I like pockets, because I can't carry purses. I will forget a purse. Like, I have one bag that I bring with me almost everywhere, and it has to be physically attached to me. Like, it hooks, like it clips around my waist, so I won't forget it. That's how much of not a purse person that I am. So I like just having deep pockets. I like just having pockets in general that actually function as pockets, and I can like have my phone in there, not just my chapstick. But so I've been buying a bunch of dude jeans, not like a bunch, but I've been perusing the dude section for their jeans, and I've been searching for just black jeans for a while, and they finally had some in my size, because normally the smallest I can find them like waist wise is a 30, and I'm a 28, 29 waist on a good day. Also, justice for the skinny boys, because why are there only like 28 waist pants out of the whole fucking section? Like, there is a giant wall of jeans in the dude section, and you're telling me out of the entire display only one pair is 28 waist? Are you fucking kidding me? For months I will search, and I can probably find a solid pair of dude jeans once every couple months. So that's atrocious. We need more jeans for the skinny boys, mainly for my benefit, so I can have more jeans in my closet. But still, be better, do better. So anyway, got the jeans, tried them on. They were great. I would have liked them a little bit longer, but I wasn't going to be really picky, considering I definitely can't find like a perfect 29 to 32 pant leg. Those are the sweet spots. But beggars can't be choosers. I was happy with just the 28 waist, honestly. So I went on about my day, and I was feeling a lot better after my retail therapy. And I got home, was still very hungry. My husband had told me to like grab something on the way home, but I was like, no, he needs to eat. And we had agreed on what we wanted to do for dinner. So I was like, I'll just get started. I got the oven going, was getting my bath ready, was making sure the dogs were all taken care of and they were in their respective spots. I knew that the food was going to take about 30 minutes to cook. I knew my husband was going to be getting home roughly within that time frame. So I was like, cool. I can put the dinner in the oven. I can go hop in my tub, my bath, to like soak and relax finally. He'll get home. He'll finish out dinner. I'll hop out of the bath once dinner's done, and we'll eat, and that'll be our night. And that's exactly what ended up happening. But when dinner was ready, he told me, I got up out of the tub, and I have a tendency to make my baths a little bit too hot. And I fully blame my dad for this fact, because I grew up with an in-ground jacuzzi that my dad sets comfortably at a nice toasty 102 degrees for the water. So I'm very used to just like soaking in very hot water. But even this bath was even too hot for my liking. And I even had to like add some cold water to it to kind of like simmer it down. So it was still pretty hot. And so when I got out of it, I started getting very dizzy and very lightheaded, and I was just feeling very weak. So I called my husband. He came in, helped me out, got me some water and an ice pack because he was like, "You're burning up," and that never happens. So he cooled me down and got me on the couch so that way he can bring us our plates for dinner, and just kind of really took care of me, made sure I was okay, which was great. I love him. He's the best person on the planet. So shout out to you, babe. Later that night, when I was reflecting in my journal, because I've been trying to be good about like journaling at least every day, if not every other day, but I've been slacking this past week, or like 2 weeks. I know, I need to be better. But so I was journaling, kind of reflecting on the day, and as I was like writing out all of the instances and the different paths that I took that day, it made me kind of realize that maybe my dog needed to ruin my bath mats, because in order for my husband to be home and help me out of my incredibly too hot bath and make sure nothing bad happened to me, I needed to kind of go out and have some errands and kind of doodle around Target, so that way he would be home by the time I was getting into my bath. So it just kind of showed me that sometimes things happen for a reason, even if you don't understand the reason while it's happening. And even if the reason pisses you off for the first like 15 minutes of it happening. So I just thought that was kind of important, and just kind of something that's been taking up space in my brain for the most, like, lack of better words. So I've just been kind of like thinking on it and marinating on it for the whole month. Something else that ended up happening this past weekend, apparently the universe wanted me to drink root beer. I don't have anything against root beer, but it's not my first choice. Like, my top two choices of soda are Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper. Those are my go-tos. Sometimes Pepsi if I'm really feeling a little bit dangerous, or not dangerous, but like different. But normally, if I can't have Pibb, I'll have Dr. Pepper. And if Pibb is an option, I will happily take it. So I will always pick Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb. Like, that's 100% my top two sodas. But apparently over the weekend, I just needed to have root beer for whatever reason. And here's why I say that. So Friday night, my husband propositioned me for dinner. He was like, "Hey, I don't want to cook. You don't really want to cook. If you run and go get us burgers, I'll give you my card and I'll pay for it." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. I can do that." So I go in and order our food. I ask for Dr. Pepper. I'm waiting for my food. They give it to me. I go into the car and I get everything set down, and I grab my soda and I take a sip, and it's root beer. And at first I was like, it's fine, whatever, no big deal. I have Dr. Pepper at the house. But then I checked my receipt and I was like, oh no, she knew I wanted Dr. Pepper. So I went back in and I was like, "Hey, I really hate to do this, but I ordered Dr. Pepper and this is a root beer." She apologized, fixed it for me, no problem, sent me on my way. I had my Dr. Pepper. The next night, we had gone to an emo night. I don't drink. I've said this on the podcast. I'm not the biggest drinker. It's just not something that I do. My husband likes to partake in some adult beverages from time to time. Normally when we're out, like, doing fun stuff. So we got there and he was like, "I want a drink." And I was like, "Cool, you do you, boo-boo." So he ordered his drink, and then she looked at me and I go, "Can I have a Dr. Pepper, please?" Because I will forever just have soda. Because normally I'm hanging out on edibles, so I'm having a good time. I just don't need, like, to drink anything, so I'll just sip on a soda. And she goes, "We have root beer." To me, honestly, there's nothing more disappointing than expecting a Dr. Pepper and getting a root beer. I just fucking hate it. It is the most depressing letdown that I can think of as of right now. So apparently something was not working with, like, Dr. Pepper line or whatever. And she's like, "We'll probably have it later." So I go, "Oh, okay." Thinking, like, basically being like, I don't want the root beer. I'll come back later for a soda. And she just goes, "So you want a root beer?" And then just pours him a root beer, or pours me a root beer. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm just drinking root beer today. So like I said, like, the universe just wanted me to have root beer because I was trying extremely hard not to have one the day before. And then it forced me to have one the next day. So I was like, all right, whatever. Like I said, I'm not against root beer. It's just not my drink of choice. But also, complete side tangents about emo night. Like, we had a good time, but when we were leaving, like, the DJ started off really, really strong. And for anybody that doesn't know, emo night is basically like just a club night that venues have where a DJ comes and just plays and like emo music from like the late 90s, early 2000s, 2010s. Like, it's just emo music. And that's like the whole shtick. Me and my husband are giant emo lovers. I love emo music. I listen to it a solid majority of the time, as is my husband. Like, it's just something that we've bonded over, and that's just our thing. And we had gone to one at the beginning of our relationship when we first started dating, and we had a blast. And so I was like, oh, they're doing it again. Let's go. And he was like, okay, yeah. Like I said, started out strong. He had some good bangers. But the thing about emo night is I'm there to hear the deep cuts. Like, I need to hear like Miserable at Best by Mayday Parade, like My Happy Ending from Avril Lavigne. Like, I need to hear like these super sad, in your feels fucking songs. And they were just more focused on like the upbeat pop type of emo, which I get. You want people to dance, you want people to have a good time because like it's supposed to be like a club night. However, just like throw in the deep cuts like every once in a while to remind us why we're here. Because I'm over here like, I'm here to cry because I need my heart ripped out to remind me that I have one, because that's just part of it being an emo person. So when we were leaving, my husband wanted to like check out the merch stand because they were selling merch. And so we were looking, and he ends up buying a jersey, and he buys me this sad as fuck jacket because I'm forever cold. And the lady selling the merch was like, oh, how is it in there? And my husband goes, oh, like, it's really good. And I just off the cuff go, it needs to be sadder. And she just looks at me and goes, it needs to be sadder. Okay, interesting note. And then I just looked at my husband, basically telling him I have thoughts on this that I will tell you once we're away from this woman. Because I was not in the mood to just get into an argument over this with a complete stranger. So I was like, I'll just vent to my husband once we're out of earshot. So we get outside, and I just turn to him and I go, yeah, it needs to be fucking sadder. You're literally selling sad as fuck merchandise. I'm here to fucking cry and to feel all my fucking feelings. Obviously, it needs to be fucking sadder. It's emo night. What are we supposed to think that it's going to be about? Because it's definitely not about haha, like happy, fun, let's party songs. It's like, no, shit got real, and this is how I feel about it. Like, that's emo. It's angst. It's sad shit. It's kind of the whole fucking point. It's your whole marketing brand. You're selling sad as fuck. Yeah, I'm here to be fucking sad. Obviously. But I digress. What a fucking concept. But yeah, and like when we were walking back to the car, my husband and I were like, they didn't play this song, they didn't play this, like this band, like this wasn't even on there. Like at one point they were just playing like pop songs. And I looked at my husband and I go, this isn't even a fucking emo song. So like that just kind of irked me. But we still ended up having a good time. Like one of my favorite things to do in this entire world is to serenade my husband with sad songs. Like especially like sad breakup songs. Oh, they're my favorite. I love to serenade him with sad breakup songs. At first he didn't understand why, but I've loved sad breakup songs like since I was a little girl. Just something about those songs just fucking do it for me. And so we'll be sitting in the car and one of those sad breakup songs will come on and I'll just turn to him and I'll just belt it out and serenade him and, you know, do all the things. And so that's what I was doing at emo night. Even they had like a stage where like the DJ was and he was like, hey, like if you hear a song that you like, just come up on stage and like jam out. So he was like people watching and I was just serenading him with all of these not happy, loving relationship songs that were playing. So I had a great time, but definitely had some notes, obviously. But yeah, so that's my sad tangent about emo night. they're still fun. I still want to do them. I still would go to another one. We both agree that if there were, like, if we had a bigger group of people with us instead of just me and him, we probably would have had a better time. So maybe next time we'll try and get a group together. But I also just feel like us in that town just don't vibe well. Like, there's just something off about, like, the people in that town that just don't mesh well with me and my husband. Just the vibes are off, and it's just not our thing. So maybe we'll try a different town and see if we get different results. Because the one we went to when we first started dating, we both agree is like way better. Anyway, back to the universe and the topic at hand. But yeah, so just like those kind of things are just making me think about like the universe, and also something that I heard a couple weeks ago when we had our full moon in Scorpio, because I ended up buying a masterclass that Athena's Crystals, she has her own podcast called Listen the Fuck Up. I've listened to a couple of her episodes. She's really good, and she has like a lot of insight. So if you're into astrology and manifestation and all that stuff, go check her out. She's really great. She also says fuck a lot, so hence why I thoroughly enjoy her. But so she was doing a masterclass for the full moon in Scorpio, and I bought it, and I was doing going through it and listening to everything. And she said something that really just kind of like clicked in my brain when it comes to like the universe. And she was like, the universe responds to feelings and like emotions and like how you felt about something more than just like the words that you say. And kind of what she means by that is there's a lot of people in situations where they kind of just keep repeating the same horrible situation over and over and over again. And even though their mouth is saying that they want something more and they deserve something better, internally they feel like they deserve this bad treatment from all these different people. So the universe recognizes the feeling that this is what they think they're worthy of and this is what they deserve. So the universe just delivers that to you. Like, well, you feel like you deserve this. So here you go. Like, I'm just doing what you're asking me. So you then have to start working on making sure your feelings and the words that you're saying, not only out loud, but also just to yourself, match each other. So if you verbally want to say, like, I want to be in like a happy, healthy relationship, then you also have to feel like you deserve to have and be a part of a happy, healthy relationship, because the universe isn't going to give it to you if you don't feel like you already have it in some aspect, shape, or form, or that you deserve to have it in some aspect, shape, or form. So that's also been something I've kind of just started mulling over and marinating on throughout the month once I heard it, because I was like, that's really like profound and something that even I wasn't seeing coming, because I was like, yeah, that makes sense, because if you feel like you don't deserve something, then the universe isn't going to give it to you. So if you feel like you deserve it, then it'll happily show itself up into your life. So, but I've been noticing that I'm still having to have that like conscious thought and effort put behind like what I say, not only out loud, but like also like to myself, and the kind of feelings that I have towards myself and towards the things that I want. Because I've known like deep within my soul that I was meant to do like something big, and like not in the sense of like I need to be on like on everybody's phone or anything like that, but just I knew I was gonna be successful in some aspect of something, because I would always, it was like this thing that I used to tell my dad's son when we were kids, because we had a sibling rivalry, obviously, because I couldn't fucking stand him and I still can't fucking stand him, and he couldn't stand me, so we were just always at each other's throats constantly. One of the things I always used to say to him, and I still believe this is true to this day, is one day he's going to show up at my house when I have like this big luxurious house and I'm very successful and I have like everything for myself. I was like, you're going to show up at my doorstep begging me to help you, and I'm not fucking going to. I've said this. I vividly remember saying this like at such a young age. And our aunt moved in with us at one point, and me and her shared a room together. And she heard me say this to him either like a couple minutes later, or like she ended up coming to me later on after I said that. And she was like, "You're 100% right, April. Like, you're out of the two of you, you're gonna be the one that's gonna be successful, and you're gonna be the one that goes out on your own and gets what you want. And like, he's gonna end up coming up to you and be like, you need to help me, and I'm not going to. I knew it then. I know it now. I'm gonna know it in the future. It's just gonna happen. So I'm like, I have known that I'm going to get the things that I want, and this even ties back to like what I'm dealing with at my job right now. So this new company that I'm working for, they're a great company. I have literally zero qualms about this company, but they're very focused on like forward movement, whether like it's within the company itself or just like you personally within like the role that you have. Like, they want to make sure you're striving forward, and they want you to be the best version of yourself, basically. So for like these different like one-on-ones and like meetings that I have, like I have to set goals for myself. And I've personally always struggled with setting goals because anytime I want something, I just go and I do it. I just go get it. I just like, I don't have to sit there and plan out every step that I'm going to take and why why it needs to be this step or this step. I just think of what I want, and then I'm like, okay, I want this. And now I'm going to go get it. And that's just always been how I am. And sometimes it takes me a little bit longer. Like with my first car, I knew I was going to have to buy my first car by myself because my dad just wasn't in a financial situation to give me a car like most parents can. So I knew that I had to do that on my own. So with my first job, I got paid every week. So I would take 60% of my paycheck and I put it in a savings account, and that was my car fund, because I knew I couldn't save my entire check because I needed to give myself money to spend. I needed to have something to kind of keep me engaged and to not spend my money. So if I gave myself 40% of my paycheck to just do what I wanted with it, then I was never going to dip into my car fund and because I needed to buy something or I wanted something. So every Friday, that was my routine. And my dad would watch me every Friday as we would get up, and he would get ready for work. I would get ready for school, and he'd be making his lunches, getting coffee, and like doing everything. And I'd be sitting at the table eating my cereal, like doing the math for how much, okay, is 60% of this check. Okay, that goes into my savings account. And it was just like my Friday morning routine. I got paid. I put 60% away in my savings account, and then eventually I had enough money to buy my car. And it was the best first car ever. I still fucking miss that car. But that was like the longest kind of like goal that I had to really work for. But again, I knew how I was going to do it. I just knew it was going to take time because I can't just whip out $3,000 out of my ass when I was like 17. So me setting goals for myself is kind of like a struggling point just because I just do it. I want something, I go get it. That's just the way that my nature is. And I'm having to really think about, okay, well, in a month, what do I want to accomplish? Okay, I want to accomplish this. Okay, how am I going to do that? I'm going to do this, this, and this. Like, it's really forcing me to slow down and kind of think about the steps it takes to get to a goal instead of just, well, I'm just going to do it. Because to me, just doing it is a lot easier than thinking about, okay, how can I get to that point? If that makes any sense. So having just those like conscious thoughts and trying to match what I feel and what I know and what I deserve on the inside to match anything that I'm saying, whether it's to myself or out loud, that it's matching. Because then the universe will give me whatever I want, because I know that I deserve to have those things, because in some version of myself that's out there already has what I want. So I already have it. I just have to kind of like step in to that timeline and get the things that I want. So that's what I've been doing internally for the past month. What have you guys been doing? Let me know. But for real, what's your take on the universe? I know everybody has like their own belief system. Everybody has, what they believe in, and that's totally fine. I feel like everybody, I've said this before and I'll say it again, everybody should have something that they believe in. It doesn't have to be the same thing. We don't all have to agree on what is and isn't a thing. But as long as what you believe in isn't causing damage to yourself or other people in any way, shape, or form, then I don't feel like there should be a problem with it. And if it is causing damage in some way, shape, or form to you or others, then maybe you need to reconsider why you're believing in that. Just a thought. But what's your take on the universe? What do you think? Like, what do you believe in? What do you have faith in? And a lot of what I've just kind of been reminding myself and trying to be better at is to just have faith that it's all going to work out eventually, and I'm going to get the things that I want at some point. It just may not be right now. I mean, shit, it could be right now. Things can happen in an instant, whether it's good or bad. And I think a lot of us still kind of focus on like the bad instances that can happen, but good instances can happen as well. Like you can stumble into a random bar or grocery store or a random place of business and meet the love of your life. You could have met the love of your life when you were 7, like me. It all just depends on how you look at things and how you want to perceive them. Like, for instance, I'm slowly rubbing off on my husband. He hates dumb drivers, and I hate them too, but he like hates them a lot more than I do. And he's more vocal about his hatred for dumb drivers. So we were going to brunch a couple weeks ago. We were behind this car that was not making the best driving decisions. And they weren't like dangerous driving decisions. They were just like not knowing the function, like the correct navigation of a stoplight. And they were like driving under the speed limit and like those kinds of just like irking things that were just pissing off my husband. And so we finally ended up getting away from that car, and he just goes, "Ugh, fucking finally, like, hope that guy gets T-boned." And I go, "Babe, what the fuck?" And he goes, "What?" I'm like, "You don't need to be saying things like that." He's like, "Why not? Like, that is so uncalled for." And I was like, what you just said is also uncalled for. Like, you don't need to be wishing someone to get T-boned. Like, you don't need to be wishing harm on people. And he goes, "Well, why not?" I'm like, "Because it's bad karma. Like, you don't need to be putting that type of energy out in the world. Like, yeah, was he doing the right thing? No. Was it irritating? Yes. Does he need to be T-boned for it? No." I was like, just wish for something inconvenient to happen to him. Like he steps on a fucking Lego or something, or he stubs his big toe getting out of bed every day. Like, or he perpetually has a leaky roof at any house that he stays at. Like, just things that will make it inconvenience for him, or like his batteries were always half dead. Like, just something that just makes his day slightly bit worse. But he doesn't need to be bodily injured. So he's slowly getting to that point. So anytime someone does something stupid and I'm in the car with him, he just looks over at me and goes, "I hope they step on a Lego." And I go, "See, you're learning. You're getting better." It doesn't need to be that extreme all the time. But, it's important to put the right type of energy out there, because you don't know. Like, the universe is a mirror. Whatever you put out into it, it's going to deliver that right back to you. So if you put out bad energy, you're going to get bad energy back. If you put out good energy, then it's going to give you good energy back. If you see and believe and know that you're going to get XYZ, then you're going to get XYZ. So, like, you have the mental capacity, the mental power to change your life in literally any sense of the word that you want to change your life. Like, you can do that. You just have to be consistent with it. You have to be smart about it, and you have to mean what you say deeply. You have to mean it, because the universe isn't going to give you something if you don't believe that you're worthy of it or that you deserve it. But I really am interested to hear your takes on your thoughts on the universe. So let me know in the comments down below. And maybe I'll get my husband on and we'll talk about his views on stupidity, because I find it hilarious. He also does make very valid points. But me and him are kind of thinking about a different topic. So we might be having my husband on in a couple months. Who knows? We're going to try and work out some semantics and see if we can figure this shit out. But yeah, you might be meeting my husband finally. So yay for that. If you enjoyed this episode, please like it, rate it 5 stars. Also comment below your thoughts on the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. You can also follow the podcast on social media at Bitch Bet Podcast, all one word with an I. If you want to support the podcast in absolutely any way possible, I do have a Patreon link down below. It's also just Bitch Bet Podcast with an I. If you want to, I know I've been slacking on random rants because I've only did the one, but the first one is up on YouTube for free. And if I figure out any other soapboxes I want to stand on, then those will be posted directly to Patreon if you're interested. As always, all negative voices in your head, bitch bet, and I will see you guys next month. See ya.